Hi, my name is Matthew Roy from TurnAround Factor. Today I'd like to share with you a little about our SME Connect product, which enables extensible AR capability packages for remote maintenance and remote engineering support. TurnAround Factor is a small service-disabled veteran-owned small business located in Richmond, Virginia. We've been around since 2001 and provide R&D and engineering services, as well as manufacturing support and strategic consulting services. We've worked with both the Navy, DLA, as well as the Army to provide various support services. As you can see here on this slide, we've provided some PCBAs, or printed circuit board assemblies, for the Navy that are presently deployed within the fleet. And now we have an extensive suite of AR software products that help provide support for Navy and remote maintenance activities. The SME Connect product specifically is designed to solve one of the key challenges facing Navy maintenance and repair. Over time, weapon systems have continued to become more complex, and the number of repairs that can be effectively performed at the organizational and intermediate level has continuously decreased. Even though weapon systems have continued to become more complex, they remain critical to both readiness and to mission success ultimately. Throughout the past 10 to 20 years, during what's largely been a peacetime endeavor for the Navy operationally, we've been able to send tech reps and depot teams to assist with troubleshooting and to perform repairs, especially complex repairs, on weapon systems, whether those are aircraft or ships or just components of ships. As we continue to advance and face peer adversaries, it's unlikely that we'll be able to continue to sustain this. Tech reps and depot go teams are not going to be able to reach these Navy assets consistently during a war with a peer adversary. So these assets need to be able to operate on their own. We need to be able to empower organizational intermediate level repairs to, even though these weapon systems are going to remain complex and even become more complex ultimately over time. The SME Connect product is specifically designed to address this challenge and ensure that the organizational intermediate levels are able to receive remote engineering assistance and remote engineering support to effect their own repairs, particularly when their repair assets such as tech reps and depot teams are unable to travel to support them. The concept of operations for the SME Connect platform is that a small kit of COTS hardware is provided to the on-site personnel. They can then use off-the-shelf iPad or HoloLenses to share what they see and do. The SME Connect platform relies on existing infrastructure to connect back to a secure cloud environment, using things such as NMCI or NIPRNet in order to connect back rather than building our own dedicated infrastructure. Remote experts, whether they're depot engineers, depot technicians, or vendor tech reps, then use a web browser to connect into the call. They don't need to install any special software or have any special hardware available. The key differentiator, the magic if you will, is the ability of the on-site hardware to bring USB-connected tools into the call. Rather than trying to use the iPad to show a blurry screen of a multimeter or an oscilloscope to a remote expert, the tools are directly brought into the call and have their own web-based UI that's shown to the remote experts. This allows the remote experts to easily see the readings from the tools and even control the tools remotely while talking to the on-site personnel and troubleshooting the problem. The key to the technology that we've developed is the combination of the embedded node that provides USB tool connectivity into the call and using an off-the-shelf user interface device such as an iPad or a HoloLens. These are shipped together in a complete kit, relying on only the cloud-based connectivity in order to provide access to the remote experts. This provides a simple solution that is easily shipped into the field, easy to use, very maintainable, and most importantly, very cost-effective since the majority of the infrastructure is hosted in the cloud. This solution is entirely based on an Impact Level 4 cloud within Microsoft Azure, which allows it to meet all of the upcoming security requirements that are anticipated for deploying this into a fleet setting. So far, TurnAround Factor has tested the SME Connect product aboard the Self-Defense Test Ship, the former USS Paul Foster, both pierside in Port Hueneme, as well as underway on the test range. We were able to work underway using satellite-based connectivity, using the Starlink network, and provide real-time engineering support between people pierside, who were acting as the remote experts, and folks that were actually aboard the ship from the Surge Main sailor team. This testing demonstrated that the technology was able to work effectively while underway, as well as pierside. And we are currently working to test this technology operationally with FRC East under an IATT that will allow 5 kits to be tested without supervision. We are also working towards a FedRAMP High accreditation, which should allow the cloud component to be more easily transitioned and achieve an ATO. The key benefits of the Turnaround Factor SME Connect platform are that it increased the effectiveness of the operational and intermediate level maintenance while not requiring the dispatch of tech reps or Go teams to the site. This allows us to provide remote engineering support and remote engineering assistance, whether we are underway or at an austere forward base or otherwise unable to have access to these tech reps and Go teams going on site. This improves the readiness available for particularly complex weapon systems, as we become increasingly complex with electronic warfare systems, drones, other systems that will require tremendous levels of expertise in order to maintain and repair. And ultimately will allow the Navy to work towards remote sign-off of depot level repairs and procedures so that the O&I level, when they have the tools available to them to produce a complex or bespoke repair, are able to do so with only remote supervision from the depot level teams. Ultimately, this will help us improve the self-sufficiency of units in the field, helping them separate themselves and operate more independently without needing to constantly have reach back to higher levels of maintenance. In order to effectively transition the SME Connect to the fleet, we're looking for 3 key things. Number 1 is pilot customers for fielding. We're looking for folks from type commands, FRCs, or individual units that will be willing to test the SME Connect platform in the field. Hardware cost is quite minimal, about $7,000 per kit when nicely equipped, and the cloud support can be provided at minimal cost for initial field testing. Second thing we're looking for is leadership in order to sponsor an ATO. An ATO is ultimately going to be needed to operate on NMCI and with the cloud component. While Turnaround Factor is pursuing FedRAMP High, which should make an ATO more straightforward, ultimately we will need an internal sponsor at the Navy to achieve an ATO so that other parts of the Navy can actually field the SME Connect product. Third thing we're looking for are additional tool integration candidates. We support a generic set of tools out of the box, things like multimeters, oscilloscopes, and other work items. However, we are looking for additional PMAs who have specialized diagnostic tools they would be interested in integrating with the SME Connect platform. Diagnostic test sets with serial, video, or USB connection can be supported, and then more specialized interfaces such as GPIB or 1553 could also be supported. We can establish both read-only interfaces in order to provide data isolation and integrity, and read-write interfaces for remote experts to remotely be able to control or write to the tools. We also have the capability to offload data into the cloud environment from non-network tools, providing a secure way to transfer files such as diagnostic data. So if any of these 3 areas are areas where you can support us, these are areas where we're looking for additional partnerships. Under the Phase 2 for the SME Connect, we've had 2 sets of objectives. First, and the key objective of the base period was to ruggedize the hardware and software for operational use, sailor-proofing the user interfaces, and converting the software from a prototype product into something that can be operationally fielded. Under the option period, our key objective has been to conduct operational testing. We conducted operational testing aboard the self-defense test ship and are now working to conduct testing of remote systems at FRC East. If you're interested to learn more about the SME Connect platform, or if you're interested in helping us in one of these 3 areas where we're looking for additional support, whether for initial fielding, for leadership support to achieve an ATO, or if you have additional tools that you'd like to integrate with the SME Connect platform, please feel free to reach out to us. Our contact information is below, and we'd be more than happy to work with you. Thank you for your time.